Hi, welcome back. We are here with our next guest from the Fallbrook Land Conservancy, the chairperson, Susan Liebes. Welcome to the show. Glad to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, very good. So tell me about the conservancy that's here in Fallbrook.
Well, the mission of the Fallbrook Land Conservancy is to preserve the rural nature of our area by permanently protecting open space.
And that's important because of all of the road construction that's been going on for the last several years, going through, you know, the 76 and onto the 15. So I'm sure that most certainly you've been looking at some of these areas. Is that correct?
Yes. The road development, housing development, all of that. We need houses, we need roads, but we also need places to recreate. We need places for wildlife and plants to grow. So our goal is to protect the places that need to be protected and then develop the places where it's appropriate.
And how do you go about making a determination as far as, you know, what areas should be protected and how do you make those decisions?
Good question.
Yeah.
Well, we look at the habitat value, what kind of plants and animals are using the area. If it's something that might have a rare plant or rare animal, that would be a higher priority. Obviously, places that are already untouched, where we can have a piece of land and just keep it, is the ideal, but we also sometimes get pieces of land that need to be restored. And so we have volunteers and staff that will go in and actually pull out non-native species and plant native species to try to restore it back to its natural state.
Now, how did all of this get started? Tell me about the history of the organization.
It's actually a really neat history. It's very grassroots. It was a group of friends that got together in 1988 that lived in Fallbrook, and they actually played tennis together. And they were sitting over lunch one day and talking about how Fallbrook was changing so quickly and so much land was being developed, and they wondered how much open space there was actually left in Fallbrook and if any of it was protected. And they found out that no, not much of it was. So they got together and started this organization. They mapped the whole town and figured out where there were places that would be appropriate to set aside.
And so now, with that being said, what are the current locations of the settings that you all are holding?
Well, we have over 2,000 acres of land in preserves that we own outright. And then we have another way of protecting land, which is called a conservation easement, which is sort of a legal umbrella over a piece of land that protects it in perpetuity. And so we own about 1,000 acres of conservation easements.
Wow. So tell me about the Village Green program. What is that?
The Village Green is my personal baby, so I'm very excited about that. It's a new program that we're doing that the goal of it is to promote our locally owned businesses and at the same time raise money for the Land Conservancy. So we partner with local businesses and they make it possible for their customers to donate back to the Land Conservancy 1% of their bill. And so they add, usually it's less than $1 of small change that they would just otherwise be spare change, gets added to their bill, and then those businesses consolidate those funds and remit them to the Land Conservancy. And so for the individual, it's a very small amount, but together it adds up to a lot of support for our organization.
Great. So that's when you go through and maybe you say, do you want to round it up to a dollar, what have you? And so did you have to go to each of the businesses and to kind of get the...
Yes, I've been meeting a lot of business owners in Fallbrook, and we have a lot of amazing local businesses that have a hard time, and they get asked for donations all the time. And this is a way that it doesn't cost them anything and it benefits them, because then we go out, we do marketing for them, we tell our supporters to patronize those businesses because they really are community supporters.
And of course you want people to support you and get involved. I'm sure they can visit your website. Is that correct?
Of course.
All right, very good, very good. Well, if other than that, I think it's incredible to see what's happening going through Fallbrook, but at the same time recognizing and knowing that this land is going to be preserved and that folks are working hard to make sure it happens.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you for coming and sharing. I certainly appreciate it. And we'll see you again soon. All right.
Thank you.